1913 was the first year that they produced the Buffalo nickel. That's the coin that we're going to look at and cover in this video. What you should be looking for on those nickels that can give them value. And don't forget to go check out couchcollectibles.com. Link is always in the description of every single video. Let's just hop right into it. Alright, so welcome back for another video here on Couch Collectibles. Now, in 1913, well, there are some different types. You know, there's different types, type 1, type 2. So here's an example of a type 1 versus a type 2. You can see the strong line there of the ground above the word 5 cents on type 2. And then, of course, you don't really see that there for type 1. It's kind of, you know, more faded and rounded off. So doesn't really have that strong line there for type 1. Now in 1913, you know, there is a lot of different mintages. So you see the mintages here on the screen. Type 1, no mint mark, they produced over 30 million. Type 1D mint mark, they produced just over 5 million. Type 1S mint mark, they only produced a little over 2 million. Now type 2, no mint mark, they produced 29 million. Type 2D mint mark, they produced over 4 million, and type 2S mint mark, they only produced a little over 1.2 million. So keep that in mind because that will definitely affect the coin's value as well. And let's look at what you should be looking for. So first up, 1913, you want to look for a double die obverse on the type 2. So that is doubling there taking place on the date of the coin. And we also have 2 feathers, so we're missing the 3rd feather. I've done a video on that in the past on Buffalo nickels, so definitely check that out where I go more into depth on that. And then we also have a double die reverse on the 1913, so look for that on the lettering on the back, on the bottom of the coin where it says 5 cents. So look for that double die reverse as well. Now, for the 1913 Buffalo nickel. Now this coin here only has 3.5 legs. So here's a picture of a, you know, 4-legged Buffalo nickel. You can see the 4 legs clearly. Now here on this one, you only see 3.5. That other half is right there where we're zooming in on that other leg, that other front leg. So that's going to give a value, and of course this coin is graded at a mint state 66, so that means it's in very good condition, which will also give it a lot of value. Now this nickel here sold for over $21,000. $21,000. Now for the 1913, this coin is only graded at a very fine 30. It's a type 2, and it only sold for around $90. So, you know, a big difference in prices there from $21,000. Now for the 1913D, this is type 2 also. It's only graded at about good 3. The coin only sold for around 30 bucks. So not really worth getting graded in my opinion. But the type 2D that has the high grade sold for over $25,000. That's graded at a mint state 68 by NGC. So very, very high grade for that coin. Amazing toning on it there as well. Now for the 1913S, this is the type 1. It is only graded at a fine 15, and it sold for around $45. So again, nothing too valuable there because of the condition of the coin. But if we look at the 1913S Type 2, that is the high grade, this coin sold for over $47,000. So again, the grade's going to have a tremendous impact on the price of these coins, and of course the different type, you know, because different types, they produce different amounts of those. The 1913S Type 2 that has been acid treated, actually, if you're not familiar with what that is, a lot of times Buffalo nickels, you'll see that the date is worn off and you can't read it. Well, you can actually get a thing called Nick-A-Date and put it on there to reveal the date of the coin. You know, you only really want to do that in certain situations. Actually, Quinn's Coins has a video on that, so be sure to check that out. Just type in Nick-A-Date, N-I-C-A, and then date for Buffalo nickels, and you should find his video on that. So 1913S Variety 2, Type 2, this coin sold for around 50 bucks because it's been acid treated with that Nick-A-Date, and it's not, you know, in the best condition. Now here's the 1913S Type 2. It doesn't have that Nick-A-Date, but it's not in the best condition either. It's only graded at about good 3, but it sold for over $160. and that is because they only made, like I said, over 1.2 million of those coins. Now for the 1913 no mint mark, this is a mint error here. It's actually been struck on a 10-cent planchet. It only weighs 2.5 grams. It is the Type 2 design, by the way, but you can see that, you know, the design is being cut off because it was struck on the wrong planchet, on a dime essentially. And this coin here sold for over $46,000. Now also the 1913 no mint mark, this is the proof coin, graded at a proof 68. It is the Type 2, and this 1913 sold for over $63,000. And boy, does that have some amazing toning to it. Now let's check out some other Buffalo nickels that are worth money. Well, you want to look for a double die obverse here on the 1916 Buffalo nickel. So the strong doubling is seen on the date, the feathers, and the braid and face of the Indian. So here are some pictures of that. You can really see it there on the feathers there at the bottom, and then we can see it there on the face, the doubling, and also on the braids. So always be on the lookout for that. Here's a very, very noticeable type of doubling. The date itself, you can see the whole 1916 date underneath the date on top. So that is a really cool type of error there. Now here is an image of the 1916. If you zoom in, you can see that 6 underneath there on that double die date there. So always be on the lookout for those. Now let's look at what these coins have actually sold for. So there's some different prices for these double dies. We'll start off first with this coin. Now this coin is only graded at a good 4. So it's got an extremely low grade, which means typically low graded coins are not going to sell for that much money unless they're very specific type of coins. Now this coin here sold for over $4,000 because it has that double die obverse. So that's what makes it extremely rare. Now here is another double die obverse, but this coin sold for over $39,000 and it's graded at about uncirculated 55. So you can see as we go, the higher the grade, the better the condition, the more these coins are going to sell for. Now this coin, like I said, $39,000, and you can see that it's got that double die obverse. Now if you're looking at an even more expensive coin, this is the same exact coin, 1916 double die obverse, that sold for over $195,000. And isn't this thing a freaking beauty? Now this would be an incredible investment for, I guess, someone, you know, that has this type of cash, because these things are probably only going to go up in value in my opinion. 1916 double die, that is amazing, because there's probably not many. This might be the only one out there at the Mint State 64 grade. I'm not positive, don't quote me on it, but I'm sure that there's not many. If this is selling for that much, there's not many of these coins out there at this grade. $195,000, man, you could buy a lot of stuff with that. Alright, for the 1916, now this coin has been struck on a defective planchet, so it is a mint error. You see the hole here on the reverse, that is part of it being defective. So this coin here sold for over $125. A lot of people might think that's damage, however that really is a mint error taking place there. Now here for the 1916 D mint mark, now this coin is graded by PCGS at a Mint State 66. So that is going to give the coin its value. Now here on the front you see that F, that is not the mint mark. A lot of people think that's a mint mark, but it's not. People ask me that all the time. The mint mark is going to be here on the reverse under 5 cents. You see the D mint mark there under 5 cents? That is where the mint mark's going to be if it does have one. Now this coin sold for over $24,000 because of its high grade of a Mint State 66. Now here's the 1916 proof nickel. This is really cool as well. This is graded at a proof 68, so nearly close to a perfect grade, as the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. This is at a 68, and that's why the coin sold for over $43,000. $43,000. Could you imagine having one of those, man? I would be selling it, that's for sure. Now real quick, for the 1916S, This has got some amazing toning to it, but the coin is graded at a mint state 67, which is going to give it, you know, a lot of value. This coin here sold for around $14,000. And again, here on the reverse, you can see that S mint mark below the words 5 cents. Now, a couple coins that sold together. Now, these coins are not in good condition at all. However, it's graded at about good 3. So it's also got a split after strike. So you can see that we got a front design here, an obverse design of the Indian head nickel or the buffalo nickel. And then here on the reverse, we don't see nothing. We don't see nothing. And this is actually because it was split after the strike. Now this coin also sold with this coin. So we have no front of this coin, which is gonna leave us dateless, no date on this buffalo nickel. But we have the reverse on this one. So that's really cool. They sold together, those two coins sold together for over $380. Alright guys, don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you on the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.